Hi guys, and welcome to the channel. Thank you so much for stopping by. I really do appreciate it so very much. Welcome, my name is Aiden. I am so happy that you are here for another 4 for 4. This is a little bit of a cheat though, because I have face palettes and instead of doing 4 days on each one, I used every single color. So like this one took me a few more than 4 days. But I did double up. So I have 2 highlighter palettes and 2 blush palettes. The first one in here is the Strobe Genius by NYX. Then I have just a blush palette from Sephora. From Paris Hilton, this is a Glow Goddess palette. And LA Colors, it's a blush palette. There's a lot of shades in there. Yes, these are all more inexpensive palettes. These are all ones that I kind of forgot I had. I've been trying to go through my palettes and everything and organize things, spread out, organize, go through, as you probably could tell looking at all of the palettes that I've been talking about on Instagram that I'm trying to declutter, trying to get my perfumes, everything organized. And I found these and I was like, man, I didn't even remember I had these. So let's try them out. Let's see what my thoughts are. If you are interested in this type of a video, I do have an entire playlist listed up above. I will have it linked. So I do this fairly regularly. I'm trying to do this like every other week or so right now because I'm trying to get through things and I'm working through them a little faster than I'm getting the videos up. So I already have 3 more videos ready to film after I film this one. And if you've tried any of these palettes and you have thoughts on them, let me know that down below. So let's start with a blush palette. We're going to start with this Sephora palette. This is just as the blush palette. I remember really wanting this palette when it came out. Let's get there so you can actually see it. So there are 6 shades in here. There's like 4 shimmers and 2 mattes. There's kind of a mix of shades. They're all pretty warm toned. No cool tones in here, that's for sure. All right, so this is what they all look like swatched. As you can see, there's some, they don't look exactly great on my skin tone. I will say that. They went on very nicely. The shimmers, they do have quite a bit of shimmer. I didn't notice that they really showed a lot of texture. I do have a little texture on my face, so they showed it just a little bit, but not a ton. It's a pretty good palette. I'm just not sure if the shades are correct for me. I really like these 2 in the middle are my favorite, and then this one a little bit, but this is a little brown for me. And these 2 just, I don't know, they kind of made me look washed out just a little bit because they are not as pink as the other ones. So really, for me, I really liked the 2 in the middle, a little bit of that one. This one was kind of interesting. It doesn't look like much, but it looked, you know, it was a very natural, very light type of a blush. I think the formula on this one is really nice, and I would be interested in trying some other blushes from Sephora if I found ones that better suited my skin tone. Next, let's go into a highlighter and let's talk about the Paris Hilton Glow Goddess. I picked this up, it says $4.99. I picked this up at Burlington Coat Factory. I had heard a lot about Paris Hilton and had just read an article when I bought this about how she had like a cult following and people were really interested in her makeup products. So I thought, you know, for $4.99, I might as well try it. It really reminds me of the Anastasia Beverly Hills, the Moon Goddess, and the Aura palette. I think that's what they're called. I have those somewhere. I need to probably swatch those, like work through those too. The thing with these is they are a little powdery. And I feel like instead of looking like super shimmery on the skin, they look a little powdery on, and the texture is just, it's not as soft and melting. It doesn't melt into the skin the same way as I was hoping for them to do. Okay, and there they all are, so you can kind of see the blue is obviously kind of a funky color as it is. My favorite really is this kind of yellow shade right here. This is that one up here there. That was my favorite on the skin. The icy white was just a little too icy for my skin tone, and the pink was one that I had problems with because it was so powdery. The fuchsia is a pretty color, but not one that I really want for a highlight. I know this was a big trend of a few years ago, so I feel like maybe I should have worn it more when it was a trend. I didn't feel comfortable in these shades because they are so out there. I think maybe for eyeshadow toppers, they might be a little bit nicer if you spray down a brush and try to pack them on that way. But for me, this is not a palette that I would recommend. I don't think it is the quality that I was hoping for. So yeah, I was a little disappointed in this one. Next up we have from NYX. This is the Strobe of Genius. It is an illuminating palette. You do have 7 colors in here. There is quite a few colors, and I feel like there's some that are very similar on the skin. This one and this one are very similar on the skin, and this one are very similar. This one even. As I was wearing it, I will tell you, I was like, wait, which ones did I use? Which ones haven't I used? And I got kind of confused trying to remember which ones I used and which ones I hadn't. And there's an overlap here, I feel like, which could be good. Like if you are not my skin tone, if you're slightly darker, I think this palette would work really well for you because there are some darker shimmer highlighters, but you also have a good variety in here, and I think they would look nice. For me, I only had like these two, and I mean the purple kind of looked okay on my skin, but they were a little dark for an actual highlight. Let me swatch it for you though. All right, so on this side I have just the 3 that are the larger pans, and then I have the 4 over here on the other side. I don't even know if you can really see the yellow. If I get too close to my light source, it kind of changes the shades, but the yellow is there. It almost blends into my skin, which is kind of weird. Yeah, it's a weird shade. It's not my favorite. I do like the 2 in the center are probably my favorites. You can see them right there. They're not the best shades for my skin tone though. Like you can see that there's really only 3 that kind of look okay on my skin. The rest of them are not great. This is a really nice formula though. I do like the formula, and if I thought that I could get a good amount of use out of this one, I probably would really enjoy it more, but I feel like there's so much that I don't know, and I'm not the type that uses highlighters as eyeshadows. I know you can, but I have so many eyeshadows, and I just tend to stick to whatever palette I'm using. I use it all together. So this one I think is a really nice palette, and I would recommend it, but I would say like really think about your skin tone. If you are super pale like me, probably not the best. If you're a little darker than me, you might get more use out of it. And this brings us to our last one. This is LA Colors. This I also think I got at Burlington Coat Factory, or maybe I got it at Ross, or not Ross, TJ Maxx or Marshalls. I don't know. There was a time when I just bought whenever I could find, and I had bought a Z palette. I thought, oh, I'm going to depot all of these because this is just a very cheap plastic. I thought, oh, I'll pot this and put those in there, and I never did. And this is such a bulky palette. So if you are someone who, I mean, this was really inexpensive, so you could, you know, theoretically just keep the shades that you really like and depot them. It would be really good, but this is a lot of packaging, just to let you know. I think I paid like $5 for this. There are 10 shades, so there's a nice variety of shades in here. This one is looking almost white on screen, but it is a lovely pink shade. There you go, just get it a little bit better. There's a nice variety. I think if you are someone who really likes to play with blushes, this is a great palette. All right, so there they all are swatched, and as you can see, like, they do have a big presence. You can work with them a bit, and you can get them to sheer out a little bit, but if you want something that's a punch of color, this is a good palette for that. So I do think the shades in here are very pretty. I had some fun with them. I felt, you know, uncomfortable in some of these bright shades, but there was a lot of nice shades in there as well. Obviously I kind of liked the peachy pinks, you know, that's more of my type of a shade. But I did enjoy this palette. I think it's a nice palette, and if you came across it, I would say, you know, it's worth picking up because it is inexpensive, but you get, you know, a lot of product, but you get a nice variety of product as well, and it's inexpensive, and it's good product, which I appreciate. All right, now on to the ranking, and also if I'm going to declutter any of these. So in fourth place, I'm sure you already figured it out. It's the Paris Hilton Glow Goddess palette. It's just not for me. I didn't like the quality of it. I don't think it's one that I would recommend picking up. I was unimpressed with it pretty much all over. And even though I paid only $4.99 for it, it is one that I'm definitely decluttering. It's not one that I would say look for, even if it's cheap. It's a no for me, and it's a declutter for me. In third place, I am going to put the Sephora palette. This one was, I mean, none of these were super expensive. This one was like maybe $14. I got it on sale. I know that. And while I did like some of the shades and I liked the formula, I feel like the LA Colors formula, I liked a little bit better. They weren't quite as shimmery, so they didn't show, like they didn't feel quite as garish on the face, and they didn't feel, like these did show a little texture. So this is another one that I probably wouldn't recommend. I don't think it was the best quality or formula. If you found some matte blushes, I would say try those from Sephora, but I wouldn't recommend getting a palette from them because I don't know, like I don't see myself using all of these shades, and I don't feel like a lot of people would use all of these shades. And this one I am also going to declutter. It is going bye-bye. In third place, or second place, I am putting the LA Colors palette. Like I said, I think this is a nice formula. I had a lot of fun playing with the colors. I feel like they went on pretty well. There is like a crazy variety in here. That's my biggest downfall, which could also be a strength for you. But I like that even the ones that have like a hint of shimmer in them, they're not in your face over the top that are going to show like texture and make you look like, you know, you're painted. Like I love shimmer, but sometimes you don't want to look like you painted yourself in glitter or shimmer. So I do really like this one. I would say if you like the colors and you see something from LA Colors, blush wise, I would pick it up and try it. I think it is worth the inexpensive price tag to try them out. Though I'm going to declutter this one as well because I just don't see myself using it and reaching for it, and the packaging is so big. Like that's a big downfall for me. I'm trying to, like, I don't know what's happening with my life, so I need stuff that I can easily pack and move around and that will fit in containers, and this one does not want to fit in with anything because it is so darn big. Which brings me to my first place, and that is the NYX Strobe of Genius palette. I really do like the formula on this. I think NYX is a really good brand. What I've tried, I haven't tried a lot from them, but what I've tried I've liked. I like the formula of these, and I like how they sit on the skin. I think they were very pretty, but I am decluttering this one also because there's so many colors that I can't wear in here, and I'd rather see somebody who can use more of the colors or will use it than it just sit and die in my collection. So yeah, I decluttered all of the palettes in this 4 for 4, which I wasn't really expecting, but I also, like, I guess maybe expected it because I just decided to do more inexpensive palettes when I was looking through and trying to grab some to try. Yeah, I wasn't really expecting to declutter everything, but I did. And so let me know if you've tried any of these, what your thoughts are on them. Do you think I should have kept any of them? Let me know down below. I hope you're having a fantastic day. And don't forget to watch the next one, which I'm not sure which one will be next. I do have some palettes and I do have some blush trios coming up. So let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. I hope you're having a fantastic day. If you're not already subscribed, don't forget to subscribe, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.